My Lords, I'm afraid what I'm about to say is going to be very unpopular on all sides. I console myself with the thought that I'm used to this. I was in the European Parliament as a Eurosceptic, and I console myself also with the thought that your Lordships are much more decorous, polite, kind and generous than my former colleagues. Nonetheless, here goes. I don't believe it is sustainable for us to have a chamber of the legislature appointed by the executive. If this were happening in North Korea or South Sudan, we would regard it as absolutely intolerable. That the primary function of Parliament, since, if the other place traces its ancestry back to 1265, I think we can trace ours back to the Great Charter itself in 1215, our primary purpose is to hold the government to account. And that must be a task that is enfeebled if the executive of the day can nominate one of the two chambers. So I would like there to be, not a revolutionary change, as the noble Lord Dove says, but a considered and serious overhaul. And I'm afraid I don't believe that nibbling at the edges makes any difference. I don't think that the view of this chamber outside is affected by the number of people here. In fact, it wasn't the point he was trying to make, but my noble friend Lord Balfe, when he quoted the numbers in the division lobbies, I thought showed that it was about the right size in practice, if not in theory. Nor do I think it's really about the kinds of people coming in. We'll all have our own ideas about what kinds of people shouldn't be here. You might say there's too many donors, or too many quangocrats, or too many white people, or too many ex-MPs. No two people are going to agree on those criteria. And unless we're prepared to go all the way and have some kind of more directly representative or elected chamber, we're never going to get an answer. So I would like us to look at this properly in the form of a royal commission, a trusty, if somewhat staid instrument that can take into account a number of other considerations to do with the balance between devolved and central institutions, the voting system and all the rest of it, and come to a considered and measured conclusion.
My Lords, I suspect that there are some of us who would have more agreement with the noble Lord than perhaps he suggested at the beginning.